Welcome to Flash Show. 2 weeks back, I did a recording where I hosted a parent and we explored raising a boy and girl child, the role of the community and the church. So we received a lot of feedback, positive feedback about child raising. And there was one parent who actually reached out and had issues with a teenager and was requested if we can have a chat, a talk, a conversation here on Flash Show about teenager raising. So please don't go away. And if you're new on this platform and you've not yet shared or liked Flash Show, please use this opportunity to subscribe to my YouTube channel or subscribe to my Facebook page, Flash Show. Please stay tuned. Thank you so much, those who have joined us. Thank you so much, those who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. Those who will be joining us later, please go ahead and share that link. Share that link. You never know the soul that you can save. You never know the lives that you are touching. This is a platform where we talk about different aspects of life. We talk about social life. We talk about, we've actually not explored the political part of it, but we talk about all aspects of life. And at times we speak from experience. And today on Flash Show, I'm so privileged to be hosting a couple. Before I go any further, I'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Ladies first.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Simba. I've always wanted to come to the show, and I'm so thankful I'm here today. My name's Susan Okirol. I'm a married woman and a mother.
Great. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So this is Mr. Okirol, married to Susan, and I'm the only man in this country here from Katakwi, Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to know more about Mr. Okirol. Who is Mr. Okirol?
Mr. Okirol is this humble man who grew up in the countryside way in Uganda, eastern Uganda, deep in original Teso, Katakwi.
Okay.
Yes, that's where I grew up from. Grew up grazing cows and sheep and goats. So when you talk about biblical shepherds, I think I'm also a good shepherd.
Right. Would you please greet like people in your language?
Sure. I would say in my language, yoga kere eli pipeta engani ajengo dalo studio.
Okay. Yeah, welcome, hey, welcome to Flash Show Studio, right?
Yeah, by my Flash Studio.
Right. Okay. And who is Mrs. Okirol?
I'm also a humble woman. I grew up in Entebbe, back in Uganda. I grew up with my father and a strict father for that matter, and my mother too. And we are born 7 girls.
7 girls?
Yes.
Wow. How did that house
now
look like?
Now you can imagine how strict my father was.
Yes.
Because there was no boy, like we are all girls.
Right.
So I grew up in this strict environment.
Right. So welcome to Flash Show. And those who will be joining us today on Flash Show, we are exploring raising a teenager. And Mr. and Mrs. Okirol, I understand you have teenagers in your lives, right? How does it feel like having a teenager in your life?
It's what I would call maybe very challenging.
Yeah.
Because from the perspective of how I grew up with my parents, it was like we lived like a rigid kind of lifestyle whereby you have nowhere to pass or go. You leave home in the morning, get to school. from school back home, and there's nothing like saying I'm going to see so I'm going to play with so nothing like that. It's back home. Then from now you reset from home now again. So we never had a kind of life whereby today you find a child who wants to go from school, goes to go and see a friend, wants to go and do something else, then I didn't come back home. So we didn't, that was not our portion by that time. It was quite different. So today you find that we are trying to impress on our children what we went through.
Right.
And they don't like that. So they want to see that this is a new era now, it's a new generation. They all think differently.
Yeah.
So we try to adjust sometimes, but most times we try to become more hard, and the more harder we become on them, they become more rebellious sometimes also. So it's a challenge, something that we go through when we're parenting. But as Christians, we try to focus more on to how we can give them the word of God, that they will learn that evil, this is good. Yeah. You see, like in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6, I think, tells us about when you have, let me get that thing, that scripture there. Yeah. Let me try to find it. Deuteronomy 6 says, and you must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I'm giving you today. Repeat them again and again to your children.
Yes.
Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed and when you are getting up.
Right.
So, like we've now at home now developed, because now we have things that, like a child is like maybe like about 14, that becomes very hard sometimes to get to understand certain things. But when I'm still young, like from 4, 5 now, like we have 2 young ones between 4 and 5, we've taught them one thing, that you have to pray. And most times we hold hands together. And then for like a while we have been like a preacher at home. I say the word, then they repeat after me. So these days, they not change. No, that is not you. Now today it is Aaron time. They will say, Jesus, we love you. We praise you. Then say, now your turn. Now you have to begin. Now, Jesus, we love you. Then we say, we go to school, we go to church, we go to mommy love, all those things. Then you say, oh, I think they're picking up something from there. So when you train a child something like that when they're still young,
right,
they will definitely grow up in it. And so I think that's the only way now to do. Other than trying to educate and like a teenager, you begin like trying to groom them when they're still young. It helps you make them adjust their lifestyle and their thoughts patterns. Yeah.
But do you think like how do you compare? Okay, how do you compare the traditionally raised teenager than a teenager of today?
Honestly, I'm a product of that to be traditionally raised. Number one, we respected everybody that we found around.
Yes.
Whether it's a stranger or a neighbor, you have to respect them.
Yeah.
And any person who is an adult can discipline your child. That's how we do traditionally. You don't say, don't touch my child. No. Because they do something bad, they will whoop you, and that is it. And they won't put you in line. That in a community here, they say that you bring up a child, and then the community will bring up the child together. That's how we grown up. That's we brought up those days there. Whereby everybody is like a caregiver or a caretaker for each other's child. And you make sure that child that you find on the way, where are you going? Where you come from? Whose child are you? So those things there. So a child will not begin moving anyhow anymore. You say, oh, they're going to ask me questions, they will beat me.
Right.
So you grew up that kind of lifestyle that you cannot keep moving up and down. And you have to be doing chores all the time, which is not in there today. You fight with the child to do chores. For us, it was mandated that you wake up in the morning before you go to school. Maybe you have to go and first sweep the compound, something like that. Or you have to wash dishes, something like that. You have to fetch water, all kinds of things that you have to do. And then weekends, you don't have time to go and sit and relax now. They give you the whole herd of 500 cows, a young child, with another young child.
Right.
Then they pack you with your roasted cassava and some vinyewa. You get water in the swamp there. You go the whole day, pick up those cows there. So you're not going to have that thing where you're going to begin to think of anything else because you are focused now on grazing your animals. When you come back, they praise you for having done a good job and you are rewarded by that. Today, it's not the same. A child will grow up and tell you, it's my right, I can't do this, I'm not going to do that, and you do nothing. Especially like in this land now where we are, things are different. So it's not easy. Bring up a child here, you have to keep talking to a child. I know the Bible tells us that the word that you speak into your child, most times the child will grow into that. So, but most times some parents get to forget that the spoken words can affect the child if they're negative.
Yeah.
So we need to sometimes like know that what are we saying to the children. So I love the way she always talks to her sons. Says, "Oh, Mr. President," she's good enough to be a president. Mr. President, oh, this one is a what, and they like to do that all the time. So now the one who's a president or like a doctor, not even when you talk, like, we're going to hospital, he says, "I'm going to hospital." He just then begins getting the gadgets, puts on them, and he wants to be like a doctor, and you say, wow, these things, they really become actionable in fear with the spoken word. So they're really what we need to do for me. I use the word of God and speak it to their lives and be positive about them. Yeah, it works.
Mrs. Okro, what is it like for you raising a teenager?
It's both ways. It is us as parents and then the system here. If you're raising your teenager here, the system has failed us like completely. Because this is the system that brings your child up like this to make them think, you can do this, you can skip school, you can do, And then if at all they engage in certain activities, those are the same people who take them to prison.
Yes.
But back in Uganda, you work hand in hand with the police.
Right.
You work hand in hand with, like everyone around you, the teachers and everyone. But here, the teachers are the ones who call the, other offices to tell that, the kid is behaving this because of the parent. So it becomes so very difficult. And secondly, as parents, we do not put boundaries. There should be boundaries between a parent and their kids, because familiarity does what?
Content.
Yes. So as long as your kid is so familiar with you, like that brings disrespect. It doesn't mean you're not supposed to be their friend. No, be a friend to your kid,
right?
So that they can easily come and tell you, whatever they're going through. Listen to them. But if a child changes, like, you see, first of all, you have to, there's identification and there is justification. First of all, when we identify something that is going on, or a teenager has changed, or they're smoking, or there are drugs here, things like that, you identify it, and sometimes we justify it. You justify the situation. No, leave my girl, no, leave my boy. They're doing this because they're going through this. But you are a parent. You need to address every situation, and every red flag that you see on your kid, you address it immediately.
Right.
Because the more you justify it, the more the situation grows and grows, and you cannot even control it. Because at the end of the day, the system is on their side. It is not on our side. So to me, boundaries, I do not justify bad character.
Right.
Like I told you, I grew up in a family where my father is very, very strict. Even if he comes at school, he can seriously beat you at school. Like, no bad character, no nothing like that. So that is how I grew up. So to me, education and respect, like good behavior, those are the two key things that we should tell our teenagers right now.
Yeah. So you talked about justification and identification. At what point should we as parents begin seeing at what age, or what should we see in a child and say, this one, we should take this route, or this is at the point where a parent should begin acting?
You know, sometimes it's very difficult because it comes at any stage. You can never know. It comes like we have different teenagers, and someone tells you, me, I identified this at 11, me, it was 14. So you just have to watch your kids very well.
Right.
That is it. You just have to know them. That if anything changes, you notice it.
Right.
And you don't take it lightly.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the more you take it lightly, the more it grows and grows bigger into something big that you cannot even control anymore. We have situations where you can call the police and the police tells you, you know, your kid, she has a right to go out. Eh? And I always ask my husband, like, do they have kids? Seriously? Do they leave their kids to do this? Because one day they said, no, kids have a right, you know, to stay out of school. I was like, how? So their kids don't go to school? Like, are they doing it because we are blacks? You know? Because to them, like, we have seen a lot of them, they have their issues too.
Right.
But when it comes to us and we are disciplining our own kids, now the system comes in.
Right.
So, but back home, you know what? Anyone can beat you, like the way my husband said. You come, you misbehave, a teacher can beat you, you know. Anyone on the streets can find you and discipline you. Here, you cannot. Secondly, what I can say, Mrs. Simbwa, is always listen to people who tell you about your child. Listen to them. Because sometimes we don't notice anything at home and you take your child to be this holy person, but other people are noticing certain things out there. So when they come to tell you that so and so is doing this, please listen. It doesn't mean like everything is true, but there's some truth in it.
Yes.
So start watching it. Sometimes someone comes to you and tells you, Nathaniel does this. You know, I found Nathaniel doing this. You become so offensive just because you're protecting your. That is what I said. You justify the situation. So listen to them because it is them that sometimes stay with your kids and then they see those bad, you know, behavior, characters. So they identify them. But when you come and approach certain parents, they're like, you're biased. Like, why are they talking about my kid? Why are they this? It becomes so offensive. But they're trying to help you. Those, some of them, you know, go you know it all. They gossip about, you know, certain issues, but that doesn't matter. Pick the good in what you've had and go out there or in your house and tell your kid and, you know.
Yeah, you raised a very good point there. And especially parents that have grown in church with their children, they try to think like, oh, my child cannot do this. Oh, my child is holy. My child is this. No, my child cannot do this. Oh, boy, these kids have friends, peer pressure.
Yeah.
Like before their parents, they are good. But out there, they're different thing. I know of a lady who says, I'll say it in Luganda and I will translate it like, Zabana bange temubogerako. Don't talk about my kids. Don't talk about my kills. But when you hear what these kids do behind, and be like, and then you are the very person who will be coming and then you're crying, my child is doing this. Oh my God, I had this and this. Remember they told you, or you've already put it out there like, okay, don't talk about my child. And even if I see something, I would not say it. I will keep quiet. And at the end of the day, you'll be dying and fighting with your child. I would say, no, you said we don't talk about your children. So please, parents there who out there who are raising teenagers, we understand you love your children so much, but please don't actually push away some people who come and tell you like, oh, we saw your kid maybe was smoking. It might not be true, but just like she said, Mrs. Okro said, just be cautious. See what is going on. See what other, it could not be true. See what other things like maybe what this child is doing. Oh, where is it coming from? I know like teenagers, what do you have to talk about peer pressure?
Oh my God, that is worse. That is very worse. First of all, they have these phones. When you go on their Snapchat, oh my God, there's a lot going on. They exchange things, like they learn a lot of things. Do you know, I went somewhere, I did this, can we try it? Like, so they communicate a lot. So to me, I think it's all about these gadgets. Because when they're at school, so many times they're very busy, you know, with work. But when they come back home and you give them these laptops, the iPads and everything, that is where it all starts from. The directions. Now meet me here. Because now we are working parents. Most times we leave these teenagers at home, and this is where these groups come in, so that they can show them exactly what they're missing out there.
Right.
And again, I always tell my husband, do you want your kids to be like the other kids? Why do you have to copy? If you're a parent, direct your kid the way you yourself want your kid to turn up.
Right.
I'm not going to say, because I have a son and Mrs. Simbo has a son, I want exactly my son to turn out like the way Nathaniel is. So to you, what are your values? What do you want to instigate in your kid?
Right.
You know, don't copy each and every one, because they all have different calendars, you know. So let your kid be different. Yes, it is okay to be very different, but so long as, you know, they're in the right direction, yes. But now we copy everything. No, the kids are going here. Now, Nathaniel, go. You know?
Yeah.
Most times those groups, that is where they learn a lot of, you don't know what exactly goes on there. But you want your kid to also go, because others are also going. So what exactly do you want for your child at the end of the day?
Yeah. I remember the topic we covered about child raising. We talked about spending quality time with your children. And it's not only about the young kids, but even teenagers, because from that way you get to know, like, what are they going through, what are they thinking, what is their conversation, which engagements are they having, stuff like that. Mr. Okro, those who are joining us, please, thank you so much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Flash Show, and like Flash Show on Facebook. Today we are having Mr. and Mrs. Okro, and we are talking about raising a teenager, because they have teenagers in their lives. And we have seen parents who are struggling with raising teenagers, especially here in the diaspora. So we are trying to explore the skills and the experiences and what can we do with a teenager of today. So at what age would you want, this is something that really came abruptly. At what age would you want like your teenager to come to you and say, Daddy, I have a boyfriend or I have a girlfriend?
Let me first shift. You see, in my family where I grew up from, our firstborn, she was, I think, she had finished senior 6. And now she got a boyfriend after senior 6. Then our father came to learn about it through us. We thought it was like something normal. So we were just one time chatting at home. And then we said, oh, our sister went and showed us a boyfriend, and he bought us soda. We were excited just because of the soda. And so when the message reached the museum, I said I drank soda, and the guy gave me soda, and he told me, can you take me to show where the boy is? So for me, I just feel like, oh, maybe it was nurturing from there. Things will get better maybe for. So I directed the old man. Then he showed him that, I told him that's the place. He told him, okay, let's go back. He was a big police officer. So he drove to the nearest police station. He called the young policemen there, and he commanded them, can you go with this address and pick that young man and bring him here? So we went there, and I said, I go to the guy, I just know how this guy is here. Then the guy said, we'll come to pick you. I said, what is it? Let's go. Fund is calling you. Reaching a police station, they told the guy, remove your shoes, remove your belt, all sit down. From there, what are you doing with my daughter? So I now learned that this museum of mine, that is this skill. After senior 6, he still did not want anything to do with the boyfriend, girlfriend.
But back home after senior 6, you are still young. You are 8.
Yes, he did not want
9,
anything
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So he actually put the boy in cell. He kept him for 1 week there and told him, if I ever see you near my daughter again, you'll see. So I started thinking now, so we can never have friendships at this age now.
Yeah.
So it was a no-go thing.
Yeah.
So to me, I also grew up thinking the same thing, that the age of 18 is not enough. So I would comfortably talk about a teenager having a relationship when probably they are after university. I would welcome to talk about your relationships. But before that, I think I would find every means
to limit to limit even the connection, even the conversation. Like,
don't even tell me anything like that. I'll show that I'm not happy about it. And I'll find any other way that I can try to reach out and either get the boy or to not to. Well, it's complicated to me. I will not, beyond 24, I'll be comfortable, but below that, I will not be comfortable.
It's not like getting married, but it's just like getting those like having the little crushes.
Yes. You see, the problem is the anatomy of a human body. People do not know that. Biological, I'll tell you this. The body of a human being begins to develop in parts of reproduction at as early as even 11 years old. So you find that if innocently, okay, 11-year-old child begins to relate to another 11 or 12-year-old child, just like, okay, we are crushing each other. And you have seen a lot of things on TVs and what have you, that they begin to hug. Chemistry begins to function because the body functions differently. So you ideally trying to say that you would encourage that?
No.
To me, that would not be something that would...
to differ. I beg to differ from him. If a teenager comes, maybe not a teenager, maybe, your boy, whatever age it is, you have to accept whatever he's saying.
Right.
The reason as to why you have to accept is this. Now, it is high time for you to sit and talk about those things. Talk about the sex thing that we parents fear, those topics that we fear to talk about.
Right.
Because if an 11-year-old comes to tell you, I have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend, now this is the time you tell them, you're still young, you're this, there's HIV, there's you get that time, out of what he's saying or what she's saying, because no matter how hard you try and say it is 24, that how we allow the body, the peer pressure, it will not allow them.
Yes.
They will still go out there, do whatever they're doing, and they come back to be holy in front of you, because it is you as the father, it is you that wants, it is not them. So talk to them, speak to them, the dangers and everything, they can find, the pregnancies, the HIV, like I said. Talk to your kid. Be, like I said, no matter where the boundaries are, but try to be their friends. Because now, if they find out that that is the age that you want them, to start the boyfriend thing, they're going to hide. They're going to start having sex behind your back. And at the end of the day, they come out, they're pregnant. And
you're shocked.
You're shocked. What are you going to tell other parents? What happened? So you need to sit them down, no matter what age. So long as they tell you, oh, daddy, oh, mommy, I have a girlfriend. Now it is that time now. You start talking to them.
Yeah, I think I agree with Mrs. O'Kroll, because especially in this nation where we are living, listen, because suppose your girl is coming and telling you, oh, daddy, I'm in a relationship, and she brings you a girl. But if you don't listen, and like, oh, you have to listen, and you say, okay, show me, or let me see, and then you say, no, this is not it. So like my son, we talk about it, but it's just like, oh, I have a crush on so and so, but today we did not do good, and we broke up, and it's just like they were not playing maybe with together, and one was not being nice, and it stops at that. And then maybe, and if you keep pushing them away, that's when they do things behind your back. Or in the future, like if I start pushing away my son at this age, in the future, they may not tell me whatever is going on around them. They will hide. And so I have another question for you. I have seen so many parents, especially in our community, where they are raising teenagers, but at a certain point they feel like, okay, now this is too much. Well, the kids are not being respectful. They are not going to school. Maybe they're hanging around with boys, and like it is too much. And the parents are working; they're busy. We are in a busy nation, and the best solution they do is to send them back home. Do you think that is the best solution for these kids? Like, oh, someone I've given up on the kid, is now hanging around with boys and whatever, so I'm taking back this kid home. Is that a best solution?
I'll first want to digress and take you back a little bit to, you see, the Bible says in Romans 12:2, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and be able to test and approve what God's will is. So, most times they say that in today's world, they say that the world has come to the church. The church has failed to go to the world. Now, they have smuggled all things from the world to the church. Now we're trying to imitate what the world does in church. We're accepting these norms that we're saying, oh yeah, it's okay, you can talk to the child. You know that you are trying to conform to what the world wants to do. And you say that if I talk to my child, maybe they will adjust. But the principle is, if the word of God says this, stick to it. Whereby you know that temptation comes very easily. You know, very easy to get tempted. So now, are you going to put your ears that, okay, they will not be tempted? They will be tempted. Will your words be enough? See, so other than having to believe that talking to a child might be a good option, to me, I would really say that I will still stick to my way that it's a no-go area still.
Yeah, the 25, that's it, right? Above
For
25.
me, I have that belief that no, because you are going to have to accept now the things and begin now to adjust. It's okay. Now we can kiss also just okay. And then next time, oh, we can just touch just. So what goes next, you don't know, because I told chemistry is chemistry. So to me, I am still worried.
Right.
I still won't be this Christian who says, me. I remember one time there was a church in Uganda that as soon as they hear just that so-and-so wants to date so-and-so, the pastor will come and talk to you. Excuse me, my daughter, I want to talk to you. My son, and they will make sure that you are separated completely until the day of marriage. You see, because once you are going out one day together, you are holding hands, then from holding hands, you share a drink, then what happens there? So that pastor was so, I liked his attitude that whoever wants to come to get married, separated completely.
Mr. Okro, so first of all, yeah, I understand the biblical and spiritual part of it. I'm a spiritual person. I love God. I love my church. But at times, I'm a person who will completely deviate from from the biblical whatever, because I want reality. I want reality. I know most Christians don't want reality, but I want reality. And now, remember, now you are speaking to parents who know the Bible, who know the Word, who know God. But now there was this other world of non-believers. They don't know the Word. They don't know what. So when you come and tell them do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, that's all they don't know the Word at all. But then they have teenagers. And then there was this other thing. Teenagerhood is the adolescent stage. The hormones are so active. They go through all those things. There's something that is really pushing them in. They are hot. The bodies are hot. But they get to a certain age, like maybe 19, 18, and they're out of it. Completely out of it. So that's why I would say that parents, listen to these kids. Listen, if they say that I have a boyfriend, I say, don't beat them up, don't pack them and take them to Uganda or to your nations, or don't isolate them. Oh, I'm taking you to therapy. Oh, this is not the right time. Listen to them. They outgrow this thing. They outgrow it.
I'll make you laugh for once. Let me just change this to make you laugh. You see, I'll give you this story. There was this old lady who was so good in nurturing children. And whenever there'll be teenagers are growing up in the community, they will say, go to that judge, she will talk to you. And she was good at talking to the kids. But now the problem is, talking to a child is one good thing. But to what level are you going to tell them when there's something like this, you don't have to go beyond this kind of like activity? You get it? So this was a girl that had been brought up nicely in a Christian family. And she was going on a prom date. Okay? So they are all teenagers. They go on a prom date. And now the judge said, my daughter, when you go out there, and if by chance that boy wants to kiss you, tell me, don't kiss me, please. No kissing. Okay? So she told the girl, all right, that if the boy tries to kiss you, tell him don't. Okay? And if you try to touch your boob, say, stop. You get it? I'm going somewhere now. So now, the girl was rehearsing that thing now. Don't. Stop. Don't. Stop. So now they go out with the boy. There was too much fun that they started. I don't know. So the boy now was like, it was like something that just like, I don't know, control, just like moving sporadically just now. The boy tried to kiss the girl. He tried to touch the girl. The girl said, don't stop, don't stop. And when you say, don't stop, don't stop, it was like now, continue. So what happened next was bad news.
Yeah.
So when the girl came back home, the grandma said, what happened? But the boy told me, did this. I said, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop.
And no, maybe the communication was not right. That was not the right.
So you can see communication, you say, you communicate now, what happens?
No matter how hard, no matter the way you twist it, you can never tell a teenager not to do something.
Right.
And they would stop if they need to.
Yeah.
Listen to them, talk to them, trust me, and always, like a parent, be a good example to them. Because sometimes they used to say, do you see me putting on short skirts? Do you see me go to neighbors doing this? Do you see me? Be an example, so that when that time comes and you need to confront that child, they are not going to use whatever you do on you. Because they will be like, Mommy goes out, she puts on this, she dresses like this, she does this. We all know church, yes. But we all know there are certain behaviors that kids get even in church.
Even in church, right.
So it is you as a parent to protect them, to tell them the right and wrong. Because we grew up well knowing, of course our parents used to tell us, but it is you at the end of the day, you choose your path. So do your part as a parent, leave the rest to them to choose. Because no matter how hard you try, no matter how you say 24, it is the age, they'll still do those things whether you like it or not. You just have to pray, show them the right path, and let God do His way too.
Yeah, and I think it's a good. To me, I think it's a good thing to to even talk about those things, so that in future I know for sure and for certain they outgrow that the whatever that adolescent stage. And then they get into adulthood, and you would have spoken to them, and maybe they will carry on from where you stopped when they were still teenagers. And when they go into marriage, maybe they they are prepared. It's just like they're going through preparation. It's not that you're telling them, go do this, go touch, go be. No, of course, with boundaries in wherever. So coming to the question that I have asked, like, is it worth, like, to say, oh no, man, let me first take this kid to Uganda and maybe go through Ugandan schools and see the experience, and then maybe at a certain time I will bring back this kid. This is a teenager. The mind is not yet well developed. Maybe they don't know what they are doing.
So to me, I would say one thing is that talk about environment and orientation. So you find that, like, let's say, for example, as immigrants, so we have come to this country here. Number one, you find that the parents are grappling with the identity issues. Now, when the child comes also now in the equation, they're going to adapt from what you are going to grapple with, those identity issues as well. So all of you are trying to identify yourselves now around the community, and the mother is trying, the father is trying, the children also trying in their own ways now. At the end of it all, you're all going to be consumed by the environment. Either you're going to be taken up by what is you're trying to identify with, you're also going to be taken up for what you're also trying to identify with. At the end of the day, you find that you're all consumed in the community. So that is a problem that I'm seeing that we immigrants are faced with. Now you find a child that you either brought from Uganda or was born here, sometimes they're a little bit different, but let's say that he came with a child from Uganda. Now the child comes here, the child goes to school, you'll find that in Ugandan schools, you all go to school in the same kind of uniform.
Right.
Black shoes or what kind of dressing like that.
Socks up to here.
Exactly. Now here you find that you dress whatever you want to dress. Now this other child has a parent who is earning 500,000 a year. You earn only 60,000 a year. The other parent buys a child whatever they want. The child wants a certain boot of maybe $500. For you, that's almost your weekly check. The child is saying, I also want to buy, because you have seen another child wearing the same thing there. So that peer pressure makes the child not to conform. I want to be like the other one. I want to identify with the other parent, the other friends of mine now. And fit that community now will make the child look for all other avenues. I know that you find that most other children are gifting other children at schools. Oh, you can't afford that. Oh, it's okay, I'll talk to my dad, I'll talk to my mother. And they will buy that child something. But then you find that the child is now upgrading, but not through you. And because of the association that they have gotten now in that community now, that child now begins to tend towards people who are gifting them now. And that now you find that the child now gets straight away like that from you. You get it?
And you can control the child.
You don't identify with identity. And for you as a parent, you cannot maybe be able to cope up with what the children are able to adjust in their levels there. You're struggling on your side here. That becomes a problem on one part. But if, I don't know like how I can put it, but most times like there are parents who say, this is me, this is my life, I'm not going to crave to be like what I'm not able to do. The child sees you also living your normal life like that. The child will begin to adapt and say, I just want to be like my mother and father like that, and they're not going to begin coping what the children are having. That could maybe try to reshape and make the child know to. So you find now that taking your child to Uganda or keeping the child here may be variable. You may find that you are taking the child to Uganda to where? Most people here take the children to Uganda. Most of them want him again to powerful schools again, where they also children now with certain levels of different levels of income that they have in their families. They are going to certain standard again now. Yeah, it sounds like a cycle that just continues.
Right.
But I also know the parents who have taken the children to the most remote schools. You get it? Now, that kind of child, number one, will have a negative perception of your countryside, where you're born from. Who hate that, oh, this place is for torture.
Oh,
You get it?
okay.
This place is just for torture, and I don't like that place anymore because it's just for torture. And then that's why you go to, that's why you value your place so much that it's good discipline. But the way you put in your mind that I'm going to take you there to discipline you, you get it?
Yeah.
Becomes a negative thing now.
So to you, you're taking back this child based off wanting the child to be shaped, like reshaped,
Exactly.
molded.
Exactly.
But do you have that conversation with this kid? It's not like, but there's others who take these kids back home as a punishment.
Exactly.
But do you remember way back when we talked about communication, talking about this kid? So do you talk to this kid like, okay, I'm taking you back. I want you to, it's just to remold you, to shape you, to discipline you.
Yeah, so like I'll give you like myself as an example. I took my child back to Uganda, teenager. So the first thing that I struggled with was telling a girl to go to Uganda. It was a big challenge. It's not easy to accept. So now I had no time. I began to explain those things that you see all the things that just to make it wasn't easy. So now I said, let things flow for now. Like if this is cover, let me push her there first. So now by the time that she landed there now, and different people are now going to explain why she's actually there. That this is the situation. You were going this route when in the US there. That route was going to take you to a bad place in life. But here, we can help you adjust. Your parents love you and they will still want to be with you, but you need to have this kind of lifestyle, this kind of standard you need to live with by now. And this will help you. And then with over time now, and I started now dropping in now my words now. And now you find that the child now is appreciative of what she called a punishment before. That was actually a punishment, just trying to make her adjust her life and come into form again.
Yeah, but that's the other thing that I really like struggle with and I don't understand. If you as a parent, the father or the mother of this child, you can reshape the mindset of this kid when this kid is still here in your hands. Who do you expect like really to shape this kid back home? Your sister, your mother, your best friend?
So the challenge here is that you could try to reshape the child. And actually, parents here do that. They try to tell the child what is right to be done. But because of the nature of the system here, you find that you feel like you are pushing against the corner.
Right.
Personally, I had the challenges with my own child, whereby when I try to discipline my child at home, I tell her what to do at home, she goes and talks with friends.
Yeah, other social workers.
Some peers. Now the peers now also go and share with their parents. And can you imagine this by doing this to our friend? And at one time, personally, I had that kind of a situation whereby my child shared with a friend, and the friend and told the parents, and these parents were like, it must have been maybe like mandatory reporters. They walked straight to police. That we have a child here. I think he needs help. You get it? And now some of the police just like that.
That's the part that I really don't understand.
Yeah, now it becomes a problem that the way you want to bring up your child, it may not be possible sometimes.
Yeah.
And now you get a contradiction and the system says you can't do that.
Right.
Just talk to the child.
Oh.
Now, and I found again that the system is quite hard that the law cannot enforce anything on a minor. When a child has erred in any way, they will say we shall look for the child and we shall ask the child, please, let's go back home. Not like arrest the child, let's go, no.
Right.
Can you please, let's go back, and you put the child in a car. One time, my child was not at home for 2 days. They're looking for the child. And when they got the child, too bad drunk. They said, sir, we must bring your child, but we are sorry that the child needs help. The child is drunk and you cannot discipline your child. He is underage and it's up to you to see how you can handle the child. I said, but you are the police. There's no...
We have no right.
We have no...
You're right.
What?
Okay.
So I really felt like I was decapitated. I was now like lifeless now. I had no control. And I said, so these children can do whatever they want to do in this country now. So if you're in that position, what will you do?
Exactly.
I'll take this child to time. Why? At least I know that I can have control of this child.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kroll, for sharing that. Seriously, that's the part that I had not seen before. The system itself can get you crazy.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Like another example now, like my child was taken to a probation officer in court, and now they assign a pro bono lawyer has to read them their rights. See, he cannot do this to you. He cannot do this. And by the way, I'm asking you right now at this age now, you can try to just try to go to school. Try to sit in class. You don't need to. You don't even need to attend. You even have to listen. Just sit in class. Just it's okay for you once you appear in class. And when you reach the age of 17 or 16 or 17, officially you can drop out. I told the probation officer, what is this lawyer telling my child now? You say that they have a right to tell all those rights. I said, but really, you're a parent like me.
Okay.
Me, I will not tell that your child has a thing, but they have a right to tell them. I said, now you can see now. So you really become so it becomes a problem at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know.
From today, may God forgive me, or parents who have blamed and really cursed, may you forgive me, because I didn't know, and I've been like, how does a parent send their child back home? Who's gonna like really change them? Who's gonna treat them nicely? Who's gonna provide for them? Who's gonna educate them? Who's gonna advocate for them? So, but yes, the system here is really terrible.
Can I say something, Justin? Sometimes, in fact, most parents don't send kids back to Uganda because they have failed. It is the system that fails them. And then, you have no choice. Because when he said parents here give other kids, things, shoes, whatever, it happens in Uganda too. So you just need to talk to your kid and they know that whatever they have is enough. That is what you can afford. Speak to them and tell them. Because even back in Uganda, we used to see kids in school. We used not to have phones. They come with the phones. I had a sister who passed away, my big sister. She used to go to Gayaza High School. But she used to call my mom, don't come. My friends have given me everything, So it is about upbringing and a child's heart, because we can all be coming from the same mother and father, but we have different behaviors. So it is up to your child to choose. Show them, that I can do this, I cannot do that, but be contented with what you have, because that is why they go beyond what you cannot afford. But we live within our means back in Uganda, because we saw what our parents cannot do and, what they can do, but we didn't go, doing certain other things just because we want to get, So I think sometimes it's about us parents, like the way you talk to your kid, the way you understand them, like, don't chase them away just because, they have done something small. Talk to them today. When you see, like, the behavior is not changing, like, it becomes too much on you. And then you're like, you know what? Back home, we have services, we have the police, like, everyone is willing to help.
Right.
Other than here, like, the way he said, how can you tell a kid, like, you can just sit in class?
Sit in class, and at a certain age,
drop out. Exactly. You can drop out when you want to. Oh, what are they going to do? Right. In that, teen age where they can decide anything. You go out, you spend like 2 days, 3 days, you're not home. Can that happen back in Uganda? You can't. Okay. Where do you go? Yeah. Where? Like, seriously, this system has failed.
Right. Yeah. Don't you think that, yes, the teenagers also have their rights? Because, like, we want to impose the way we were brought up, maybe our cultures, to these kids, but we forget, like, this is their culture. This is all they know. They don't know how maybe to kneel down. All they know is, oh, hi, daddy, hi, mommy. It's not like the way it's just like on phone. Oh, hi, daddy, hi, mommy. Well, you can tell your child, get off the phone and you create. But I mean, do they really have to be to conform to our cultures? Because they don't know it. This is their culture. That's why I think we have the pushback. We want sometime back, way back, I hosted teenagers on Flash Show. Oh boy and boy, I wish you could know what these kids were talking about. They want to be heard. The teenagers are not heard. So that's why they kind of push back. I have the right. I have a right to speak. Don't you think they have a right to speak?
Yeah, they do have a right to speak, but limited rights. I would say that.
How do you speak is what is important. How do you address your parents? For me, I don't care whether you're in America. We are Africans, you know? Just because you sleep in a garage, it doesn't make you a car, you know? So, of course, we are going to bring our African ways of bringing up our kids here. But we are not going to enforce them. But you're not going to say hi to me. Hi, mom. What is that? You know? At least, good morning, mom. Good morning, dad. That is okay. But hi, I'm not your mate, you know? That is where we go wrong. We tend to think that, you know, just because they're in America, they can do whatever they want. But this is where familiarity, begins from. And then your kid just finds you, you know, seated somewhere. Hi, dad. Like, really? Me, I cannot. You know, I cannot take it. Like I said, I grew up when my father is this strict man, and I know when to misbehave and I know when to behave. Like when you're around your parents, you have to behave because you're showing, you know, you're showing other people out there that it is okay, you know, other kids, it is okay, you know. When I came here, I saw people looking at me because I was kneeling down, and they were like, you were kneeling down? I'm like, what is wrong with me kneeling down? Because if I see an elder and someone comes to say hi to me, I cannot be seated because that is how I grew up. It's not like kneeling down means respect, but this is how I was brought up. So when you're okay with your daughter or your son coming, say, hi, mom, he's going to do that. Even if you have guests, they'll be like, what? One day I went to Angela's house, and she had some guests, and there was a teenager. So she was like, hi, auntie, can I have this? I was like, yeah, you can have it. Can I have the food? I was like, yeah, you can have the food. She went, opened the fridge, looked, you know, went into the pantry. I was like, are you serious? You know, can my kid do that? Like, you cannot go into someone's house and like Muchasimba, like the way I can come with my kids and they start opening the fridge, for me, that is disrespect. It goes back to you as a parent. How do you parent your kid? For me, it doesn't matter whether you are in America. We are Africans. At the end of the day, that character will come out, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it will come out, but do you think the kids will take it? They will not take it.
If you don't take it, then you're back to, you know, where you got you from.
I think, to me, I think it's okay to let these kids be because that's their culture. They will not, they will not kneel down, but let them humble themselves.
Yeah.
Right? They will not say, okay, they want to stay in their rooms, right? They will not come out to for social time or hang out with the visitors. Let them be, because we are Africans. We have extended families. We are used to that.
Yeah.
But in America, it's just only you and your husband and your two kids in the house. So they also want to stay in there. So if we can let them be, and then maybe we listen to them. These kids are not listened to, and they feel like, oh, our parents want to have impose their cultures on us. They blah blah blah.
Simba, you haven't been there. You have no idea. You haven't been there. So if you haven't been there, just look into the camera and tell those people it is okay for you guys to take your kids back to Uganda. If at all you see that you cannot control them anymore, because now it comes to the point where your kids are controlling you. The kids are parenting now the parents.
True.
Yet it's supposed to be the other way around. So if you see the situation has escalated and you have a choice, make that. It is a very hard choice because you wouldn't want your kid to go back.
Yeah.
But yet again, you wouldn't want your kid to end up on the streets. They don't want to go to school. They're into drugs. They're doing everything that possibly you couldn't even think of. So the only thing, now you're taking them to protect them from themselves.
Why can't you take them to like maybe therapy or institution, or It is still the system.
Because at the end of the day, it is still the system. He has told you so.
I went through therapy too. Even to myself and to her. They offer a therapy too. But you also need therapy because if a child like that, then this must be the foundation why the child is behaving like that.
Right.
They brought the therapy at home. Therapists to talk to us too. You need therapy. You need therapy.
Because of your child.
Yes,
They-
but you need therapy also because this child behaving like this, so you need to. I said okay. They would come home. How is this? Okay, yeah, you were fine. So it's just too complicated.
Yeah.
You get
So
it?
do you have plans of bringing her back?
So God willing,
Yeah.
my discussion with her
Mm.
was a temporal thing,
Mm.
and then when she got clear that now she's gonna stay in Uganda and she finishes school, he hit her hard now. I said, you're not going to come and study here. If you want to study in America, maybe a master's. Yes, not this one, send them on.
Not fair.
It's not easy. But you can visit America, I have no problem with that one.
Yeah.
But like studying here is not a good foundation for you. You see, my problem why I even took her home, worst of it was that, when you get involved with teens, their arguments, so they argued at school and they had a fight at school. So it became a court thing because the child was taken to juvenile court for misdemeanor. But now they say, now we're going to put the child on probation. And they give a time period for 6 months. They said, if within this 6 months, number one, your child does not skip class. Can you imagine skipping class? And the child is born to skip class. If the child does not skip class, if the child does not escape from home to go out with the friends without permission, you get it, and the child does not fight, then it will be okay. We shall discharge this case from the juvenile court. But if by any time this child gets involved in either fight or skipping class or not being at home at the required time, definitely we shall put a criminal charge on your child. So I say, now, a criminal child, that means that'll be for life. That child be having, I said, no, I will save this child from this criminal charge instead.
Right. Yeah.
I spoke to the provincial, can you help me? Give me avenues, what can I do? If I take my child. So I said, okay, that's easy for me. I'll tell you where the child is going. You can monitor the child from there if you want to.
Oh.
Yes. So they had to get in touch with where the child is going to, the school that the child is going to, fine. Then, of course, after that, what choose into another school, another change numbers. Those are end there.
Yeah, and what is so disappointing is the system here will put your child into the system, and at a certain age, because I'm a social worker, I've gone through this, so I know what that means. So at a certain age, or is it 17, 18, they are pushed away into the system. So these are the kids who right now we have in jail, right? These are the kids who are on streets. Boston Medical giving birth to babies because after 18, now you are an adult, go out.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have nothing to do for you. They don't have resources for you. They don't have nothing. And then these are the kids who are in gang violence. They are in gun violence. They are having babies. They are in drugs, child trafficking. We have them full units at jail. So, I mean, I understand, yes, the system here has failed us. So as parents of teenagers, I think this is the good information. I'm so glad, I'm so excited that at least I have parents here who have gone through it. They're speaking from the experience, not me. I don't have that experience, but they're speaking from experience, what it entails dealing with teenagers. Any last remarks that you would want like parents maybe here to know, Mrs. Opro?
I'll still look into the camera. First of all, I would thank you, Mchala Simba, for inviting us for the show. But I will still tell the parents out there, if you feel you have no way out, other than your kids ending up in prisons and drugs and streets, please, it is okay for you to take your kids back to Uganda or whatever country you're coming from, and when they stabilize, you can bring them back at a certain point. It is okay for you to take your kids back. so that you protect them from this system, because this system has failed us completely. Yeah.
You don't court a demon. You see, therapy is like courtship with a demon. I'm telling you this. For me, I don't believe in therapy at all. I don't believe in that. So I would just make sure that at least I get another avenue of handling my child rather using going through therapy. No.
For some reason, I never used to believe in therapy, but I do. It is really, really, really very helpful. Especially like these kids that who come for therapy, the teenagers, they've got they want people to listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you can think like kids born here, where should they go? This is their home. Where do they go? So they've not been listened to. They've grown up in dysfunctional families. The mothers have been drunkards. Like so, I mean, like therapy really it kind of helps a lot.
I'll tell you why I said so. My child will go through therapy here, almost a year. And whenever you do take her for therapy and the therapist speak to the girl, oh my God, she'll tell you and you talk things and some of the things are just learned things, learned behaviors. Because you find that a peer will tell the other that, you know, for these people to believe you in therapy, before you go there, cut some of your flesh. Cut. So they know, or anything that you've been, I've been cutting myself. I've been doing this, and it takes it that this child is really needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
You get it? So at the end of the day, I said, these things are all learned things here. I said, stuck to my gun. They say, put on medication. I said, no, hold on. I'm still trying to think. I'm still trying to research medication. I'm trying to contact my pastors to see how spiritually how we can also handle it. And I kept the advice like that. But when the child was taken to Uganda, just within one week to 1 month, nobody will talk about therapy, anything. The guy had been normal things in life. So I said, now what was this now therapy for now?
Actually, very, very, very true. I agree with you. I did therapy. I would advise immigrants, if you're looking for therapists, go to people that you have, you kind of relate culturally. Like, because we don't know like the cutting, we don't know we don't know trauma. Yes, we don't know trauma, but some of the things are over exaggerated. Because I used to see these kids coming to me, some of the things are really exaggerated, and I'm like, no, this is not it. This is not it. This is not it. Stop it, young girl. This is not it. I used to see it, and whenever I would take on like a Caucasian caseload, they would see my approach completely different. And they would be like, oh, this is different. Where have I been? I've been in therapy like for 20 years, but nobody has ever treated me like this. Nobody has ever given me this information. Nobody has ever told me this. I'll be like, okay. So I do like find the therapist like you really can relate with. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Okro, for being here on Flash Show. That is great information that you have shared. And also people in our Ugandan community or African communities, this program in Waltham, I don't know the address, but I see this lady on social media, it's Africano. So she has programs for teenagers, young children. They go there and they do different things. I think that's a good program where Ugandans, you can engage your children and you take your children there. They teach them culture. I know kids born here don't like our culture. They try to push it away. But somehow, somewhere, it instills some manners in them. It instills some good behaviors in them. It occupies them. It keeps them busy and they learn different things. So it's in Waltham. It's called Africano. They have different programs. They do different programs for teenagers and for kids. Thank you so much. Those who are watching us and those who will be watching us, please take this time and throw your comments in the comment section. Let us know the topics that you want us to discuss. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please, please, please. I want this channel to grow. I want my Facebook page to grow. Do it. for us. This program, I'm just a host. This is you. Thank you so much. And this has been your very own